Welcome to the Teaching Troubled Hearts podcast. Join us today as Michelle Bickhaus expands on and gives new insight to her Teaching Troubled Hearts blog in our first podcast and webinar series specifically for educators. Today, Michelle and Abby White explore how to better meet students' sensory needs in the classroom.
Abby, thank you for joining me. I'm here with Abby White. And Abby, would you go ahead and just explain how long you've been here at Chaddock? Tell us a little bit about yourself, your role, and the demographics of the students you work with.
Okay. I've been here for a little over a year. I work in the self-contained high school classroom with students who can't transition because they can't handle it. I started off as a parapro in there and recently was promoted up to a long-term sub for that classroom.
Great. All right, thank you. When you think about sensory needs, what comes to mind?
Everything, the sounds, the lights, even smells are a big thing.
Smells are huge with me.
Yeah, I won that diffuser at during Employee Appreciation Week.
Oh, great.
And so I've been using that in the classroom, and the kids, if I don't turn it on, why isn't the diffuser on?
Mm-hmm.
What sense are we going to have today?
That's great. Yes, that's wonderful. What are some of your favorite essential oils to use?
I usually use a mix, but I like the lavender and the grapefruit together because the grapefruit's energizing, but the lavender kind of balances that out to keep it from going too high.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so what sensory symptoms are common in students who have experienced trauma or disruptions in their attachment relationships?
Not being able to handle a lot of sound. For a long time, our students were afraid if they thought that the door was going to open. And I told them, listen for the key to enter. If somebody knocks, we'll get it. But if somebody knocks and your key entered, that's staff. You're fine. It took them a long time to understand that, but now we don't have the freakouts about who's coming in, what's going on anymore.
Right. Okay, great. When we talk about looking at sensory needs through the DTAP lens, what does that mean to you?
A lot of touch, if needed, high fives, fist bumps, bringing Miss Unicorn around for a fist bump.
Who's Miss Unicorn?
She is the class representative when I can't be there. She communicates telepathically to me, all behaviors.
Brilliant. I like that. Okay. How do you support students in managing their sensory needs?
I bring in all kinds of stuff at the beginning of the year, and I put it into individual boxes for them. Kinetic sand, Play-Doh. I look and see what they're using and how often somebody's using something else. And if I notice that nothing is being used out of there, I ask them, well, do you know what would work for you? Sometimes they can tell me, other times they can't. And when they can't, I say, okay, and I'll just start bringing in a bunch of different things until something works, or they tell me exactly what they would like.
Okay, great. So there's that attunement, recognizing what's working for them and what's not, and then trying to get even more engagement, and then trying something. You have to constantly try different interventions if something's not working, right?
Exactly.
Right. Abby, what would be your best piece of advice to give to other educators who might be working with students who have increased sensory needs due to their trauma experiences or their attachment-based experiences?
Pay attention to if you notice coming off the bus, there's a lot of behavior from overstimulation or the cafeteria. And if you're not sure, you've tried everything you can think of to provide something sensory for them, don't be afraid to ask them, okay, are you becoming overwhelmed because of this, and what can I do to help you the best? I think a lot of people forget that piece.
Right. Inviting their input.
Right.
Sometimes it's hard for them to sort it out, but sometimes what they say can give you at least clues if they cannot really convey that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not able to articulate exactly what they're feeling and what they need. Their words and their actions can still give you some clues.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you talked earlier too about watching for patterns,
Mm-hmm.
noticing those patterns.
Exactly. That's a big one, because that will clue you in more than anything else you could do. And I think that's another piece that people forget. Like, the kids will tell you whether they're doing it consciously or not, what's going on.
Right, right. Excellent. Okay, Abby, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of the Teaching Troubled Hearts podcast. Please visit us online at the Knowledge Center at chaddock.com or at teachingtroubledhearts.com. And be sure to check out the Knowledge Center at Chaddock on Facebook for future episodes and for more in-depth content from the Knowledge Center. We hope you'll join us again next time.